Good evening. Thank you for watching our briefing in English. We focus today on performing arts, and we're meeting 4 internationally acclaimed performing artists who will talk to us about their vision for this sector as COVID-19 restrictions are eased. Conductor and composer Marco Mencoboni is recognized as an outstanding harpsichordist and organist, and his research and repertoire of ancient Baroque and Renaissance music. He is known for his contribution to the prestigious Monteverdi project, devised by Kenezzo Mittabona, creative director of Teatro Manuel.
Even if it can seem strange, COVID for me was a big opportunity because I had so much time to concentrate on my things, to study, to play, to do research, and even working for the Manuel Theatre here from home, we have done a lot of recordings, madrigal studies, so we didn't lose time at that point. And I had the full day for me because I could really concentrate on, so no stress from, leaving, taking a flight, on taking a train, of booking a taxi, no, nothing. Peace. I know that it was a terrible situation for all my colleagues, but in a way, if we try to see something positive in a very, very bad thing, I have to say that for me, part of my life changed a little bit with new things, with new ideas, because I had time to concentrate on myself and my family.
Jennifer Marshall performed all around the world when she teamed up with Glenn Inanga as a piano duo, and then performed for a number of years with her husband Wayne Marshall. Today she manages Wayne's career on a full-time basis, overseeing his engagements and travels as a conductor, organist and pianist.
Wayne at the time was in Los Angeles, playing at the Hollywood Bowl, and I was trying to tell him that things were fast changing at the time in Europe, and he would not have heard any of it because in the US the news was a bit later, it was coming later. And then he flew into Moscow via Frankfurt, and he was shocked to see that on a Sunday evening Frankfurt was completely empty, and he was one of 10 passengers on the plane to go to Moscow. There was one Tuesday morning, I remember, and I was working out by the sea, and my phone kept on pinging. And they were basically emails from various concert halls telling me that Wayne's concerts were being cancelled or postponed. Then we kind of entered into a phase of shock, maybe I would say, a phase of not really knowing what we had to do. About 10 to 15 days later, I spoke to Wayne and I told him, you must get onto Facebook and Instagram and start performing. I told him, as your manager and your wife, I really want you to keep on performing, otherwise your soul is going to be lost. And basically he started performing every Sunday online, and he gathered a huge international online audience. And after that, Father Simon from the Anglican Cathedral gave him access to the organ at the cathedral, and Wayne was the only person in the world basically who was performing on an organ, because all the cathedrals, all the churches were not allowing organists to play on their organs. So we had Wednesday organ concerts and Sunday piano improvisation concerts.
Nancy Melusis Romano is a celebrated pianist and conductor. She is the founder and director of the choir at the Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Her musical education started at the National Conservatory of Buenos Aires, and then she carried on her studies in Italy, Kiev, Germany and the USA. She is artistic director of the Italia Festival Barocco, and her husband's diplomatic postings have given her the opportunity to reside in a number of countries. Malta is currently her home.
During the COVID period, as most of my colleagues, we have to arrange. So we have to invent ourselves to try new system to teach music. I've been studying a lot of piano, of course, so that was easy because I had more time for myself. But, for example, to direct a choir, this was difficult because we should have to meet through some different platform. And of course, a choir is to sing all together. So to be singing alone in their house, it was completely different experience, lonely experience, I would say. But we all managed. And to tell you the truth, after 1 year, most of the singers become a better singer because I was asking them to send them the registrations, singing alone. So for them it was a change because before they should sing all together and they feel like solid. So in some way they improve, you know, we have to arrange.
Do you think some of the practices we used during COVID-19 will be used in the future?
Absolutely, because we all change. For example, since I've been living here for a while, I'm not planning to leave my activities in Roma or in Kiev. So I'm planning to go, but also to meet them every week because it was a way to include everybody. So if somebody's leaving because they have to make a trip or whatever and you're missing that rehearsal, you can be part of the rehearsal. As you see also, there is a lot of new platforms that were created in this period. I think this was, in a way, amazing because we have hundreds of different apps that you can record, you can sing, you can do a lot of things. And these things are supposed to stay on time.
The works of composer Christopher Muscat have been performed extensively in the USA and Europe, including Westminster Cathedral and St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican. He is the director of Jubilante Deo Choir and Maestro de Cappella of the Metropolitan Cathedral. We caught up with him at St. John's Co-Cathedral in Valletta.
Matul il-COVID-19 jiena flimkien mal-kor Jubilante Deo, il-kor tal-Arċidjoċesi ta' Malta, ħdimna forsi anka iktar minn qabel imma b'mod differenti. Il-provi kellna nsibu metodu kif nagħmluhom online, meta mbagħad ġew rilaxxati xi miżuri bdejna niltaqgħu fi gruppi żgħar u f'postijiet separati u anka s-servizzi fil-katedral baqgħu għaddejjin però f'numri ridotti. Għaldaqstant naħseb illi il-kor u li swietna tajjeb illi skoprejna affarijiet illi qabel ma konniex noħolmu.
The musicians who are hired in an institution, they didn't lose a job, they didn't just play, so in an emotional part it was difficult for them, no? But the self-employed musicians, the freelancers, who are the most courage to leave a job because they want to do something different. So these are the ones who really were suffering.
One thing is it has been a massive shock to most artists, and it has been very detrimental, especially to those people who are still starting out or who are still trying to carve out a niche in their performing career. So that must be really, really hard. On the other hand, I think that COVID has forced us and has made us look for alternative ways of creating, becoming more creative, becoming more inventive, seeing how we can use the online space, seeing how we can connect with people, seeing how we can perform with people across the borders. Despite the fact that there's a lot of technical issues to it, I think it's pushed us in certain directions. For example, Elbphilharmonie in Hamburg has digitized all their concerts, and they made it free. Berlin Philharmonic, even though we all know that they had the digital concert hall, it's a paid digital concert hall, have improved and have managed to move forward with this. So, you know, in terms of how artists are doing in terms of COVID, I think it's pushed them to, for example, find ways of recording better, more technical, being more technical, being more technically aware. I think that's really important. However, having said that, this stage is still very much missed. Having an audience, there's nothing that beats having an audience. There's nothing that beats having people clapping, feeling the charisma of a performer on stage from an audience point of view as well. So, you know, when I was there last week in Berlin, I was feeling very emotional, just being in an audience as an audience member.